Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory that is due unto you, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakaha Kwadash. Also want to give double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone for passing down his truth. And I also want to send a sincere salutation out there to the elect that's preaching this word in truth and sincerity. Now, in this video, I just want to touch on this point that the brother Amawanga Bar made in this lesson. Lord will, if I remember, I will link the whole video in the description, but I want to just touch on a point that he made in this lesson, which inspired me to make a lesson. You see, it's the spirit. So, Lord willing, it's edifying. Let's get into it.
Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. The Lord always talked about this generation, this generation, this generation. Guess what? This generation is here again today. This is that generation. This is the last generation. And I always say this, bro, like them YNs and these YBs, aka young bitches and young niggas and shit like that, they are not going to be our grandparents, our parents. They're not going to be our great grandparents. In other words, we're not going to die on this side knowing this truth, and life goes on for another 50 or 100 years, and then these YNs got to be the ones to bring us back. And then what? We're going to be worse now than we were. I mean, we can be worse then than we are now. This is the worst generation ever. This shit is terrible. This shit is absolutely terrible. And thank the Wadi Al Shimei Shai for the unicorn. All right, for this internet, for this truth, because we get to see on full display what the Lord was talking about, and what's going to take place in this last generation amongst these wicked ass 2/3. We get to see it. And instead of hearing about it, we get to see it and be fully convinced and persuaded in our own mind that, yo, this is fact, this is truth. This is what the Lord talked about. So this is that generation. There's got to be that generation. These people, these niggas, these little niggas are ruthless, bro. They are fucking ruthless. They worse than anything I've ever seen in my motherfucking life. Like, I'm telling you, bro. I'm talking about these so-called YNs. And that spirit of YN is being glorified. That YN spirit is being glorified. And niggas want to be that. You know, poo shiesty mask, ski mask wearing ass niggas. You know, acting like, they bout some shit. But that spirit is on them. They got them spirits on them to try to be that way. But they don't know what the Lord is about to do. They want, the Lord, Yahweh Shemar Shai, is going to clap them. He's going to be the one to clap them. Using Esau. Watch, just watch. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. I can't wait. It is what it is. They gotta be terminated. All these wicked ass people gotta get terminated, man. Alright, so that's the main precept I wanted to get now.
Now see, that was nothing but facts. This is the wickedest generation that's ever lived. Worse than the 80s and the crack era. Because even back then, they did it for a purpose. Even though it was wicked, it was about something, whether it be money, territory, whatever. These niggas, these YNs out here are just ruthless. No respect and no regard for nothing and nobody, not even themselves. And we all know the YN, the stereotype. The skinny ass pants, sagging off their ass with the dreadlocks. 80 degrees outside, they got on all black, a hoodie and a ski mask on. It's 80 fucking degrees outside. But you see, it's because there's a demonic spirit that's on them. Imagine, I couldn't even think of putting a fucking ski mask and a hoodie on in 80 and 90 degrees without passing the fuck out. But they just be living, just walking around, doing what they do. In 80 fucking degrees and a ski mask on. But you see, it's because they have that spirit on them. And also, another point, this has to be the last generation. I believe that. This is it. America isn't about to go on for another 250 years. This is the end. You see? You expect these niggas, these YNs in the world, they gonna stumble across on the internet and hear the truth, or stumble across the brothers on the highways and hedges and hear the truth and be like, oh, this is it. This is the way. I'm gonna walk in it. This has got to be the truth. No. They're too far gone. And I'm not saying that the Lord, it's impossible for him to save them, because the Lord is capable of anything. But I'm just talking on the likelihood of it, because this generation is terrible. And it would only get worse as time goes on under the rulership of Esau Edom. Because like Amawanga Bar said, it's glorified here in the society. You get rewarded for being wicked. You see? That's why I believe this to be the end too. You see? And this is all Bible prophecy, you know? Now, let's go to 2nd Esdras, the Apocrypha 3 and 12. We're going to get it in the Good News translation as well. See how it reads. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 3, verse 12. It says, "And it happened that when they that dwelt upon the earth began to multiply and had gotten them many children and were a great people, they began again to be more ungodly than the first." And the reason why each generation gets worse and worse and worse is because that's more time disconnected from our power, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. So with each generation, it's only going to get worse, you see? Because we don't know who we are. Throughout each captivity, the longer you go not knowing who you are, you completely lose your identity. But through, this Holy Spirit and faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, in these days, we're getting it back. You know who we are. Now, let's get it in the Good News translation. This is 2nd Esdras 3 and 12 in the Good News translation. It says, "The number of people living on earth began to increase, and the number of families, tribes, and nations grew. They too fell into sin and were worse than the generations before them." You see, this is Bible prophecy. These YNs, this spirit that's just here in the earth. It's all Bible prophecy. The Lord said it will be like this. Now, let's get 2nd Esdras 5 and 1. Start at the top. The point is that the 8th verse. Yeah, the 8th verse, but I'm going to read from the top. It says, "Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come, that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly. But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. And blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. And even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. And the fowls shall take their flight away together. And the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. There shall be a confusion. This is the point. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again. And the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. And you see, these single mothers out here it's these single mothers that's out here raising these YNs. You see? Because they have no order. When you're a young boy, you need your father in your life to teach you correction and discipline and integrity and all these things. Because these aren't things characteristics that women really possess like that. Not saying all women, but the overwhelming majority of women don't possess these qualities. You see? So a mother that's just left up to her own devices to raise a child, the child isn't going to grow up, optimally, you could say, and under the best circumstances to succeed. Because let's be real, like at a certain age, when your mother, tries to like whoop your ass or try and punish you, man, it's like if she does this because you let her. Because at a certain age, you could overtake your mother if you really wanted to, because she's a woman and you're a man. That's why your father, at least a father figure in your life, if not your biological father, a father figure in your life, is very important. I want to read it in the Good News Translation. It's 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "But these are the signs. The time will come when all people on earth will be in the grip of great confusion." And that's talking about now. It says, "The way of truth will be hidden and no faith will be left in the land. Wickedness will increase until it has become worse than you have ever known it to be. The country that you now see ruling the world, which is America, Babylon the Great, will lie in ruins with no inhabitants or travelers there." Yeah, because once America is pelted by these missiles and the concentrated fire that's coming out the chariots, this place isn't going to be inhabited no more. It says, "After that, if God Most High let you live long enough, you will see that country in confusion. The sun will suddenly start shining at night and the moon in daytime. Blood will drip from trees, stones will speak, nations will be in confusion. The movement of the stars will be changed. A king unwanted by anyone will being to rule, and the birds will fly away. Fish will be washed up on the shores of the Dead Sea. The voice of one whom many do not know will be heard at night. Everyone will hear it. The earth will break open in many places, and being spouting out flames. Wild animals will leave the fields and forests. At their monthly periods, women will bear monsters." And that's what these YNs are, just monsters. These YNs, these Kia boys that just go around wreaking havoc for no reason, for no purpose, just cause they got nothing better to do. With making their drill music. I'm going to end it here. Let's go to Hebrews 3:10. This is Hebrews chapter 3, verse 10. It says, "Wherefore I was grieved with that generation, and said, They do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. So I swore in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest." And you see, this is talking about the 2/3 of the whole, but I'm specifically honing in on these YNs right now. You see? That's when Amawanga Bar said in the video, like, they're not going to be, our grandparents, these YNs, we, like me and him both, like, we can't see that. This America's going to go on for another 250 years, it's 2025, us now that's in the faith, we're all going to die, and there's going to be another generation that comes up after us in the faith. Like, that's really far-fetched. Like, I can't see it. I really believe this is it, you see? And this is just more prophecy to further prove that this has to be it. The Lord is coming soon to save his elect and to destroy America and take Esau Edom out of the power seat and put him in bondage where he belongs, where he was born to be. You see? So that's it. That's all I had on that. So Lord willing, this was edifying. Till the next time, shalom.